Hello. I'm your favorite hoodoo auntie here for yet another tutorial and explanationary. And today's topic is all about voodoo dolls. Now, a lot of people want to know what is a voodoo doll? And please, before I even get started, do not let Hollywood, social media, and all that bullshit tell you that voodoo dolls are only for when you want to fuck somebody up. That is absolutely 1000% not true. You can program a doll to do anything. And when I say anything, I'm talking about prosperity spells. I'm talking about fertility spells. I'm talking about self-love spells. You want your two kids to get along spell. You and your husband is fighting, and maybe you sick of smelling his funky ass feet, and you done told him and he ain't listening, and y'all on the outs because he wants some of your good loving, and you don't want to give him no good loving because you sick of smelling the onions that's coming out of his shoes, and y'all fussing, and both of y'all get together. You can get two voodoo dolls and you can plan them to work some shit out in your marriage. You can pretty much do anything because the doll simply represents a human figure. This is different than the than candle magic. Now with the dolls, there's so much, like I said, that you can do with them. And these are available on the AWB Botanica. They are launched today. So it's a very basic design. You don't even have to use this. You can make your own. It's very basic. So what you would do with the doll is you would program the doll. Now, let me give you an example of something you can do. Let's say your daughter is dealing with some bullying, which is fucked up her self-esteem, and you want her self-esteem to be boosted, or maybe you're dealing with some shit, whatever the case may be. How would I dress this doll? This is what I would do if it were my niece or if it were me or whatever, whatnot. First and foremost, I would write my name on top of the chest of the doll. Okay. I would take a piece of my hair, cut it, and maybe sew it or glue it on top of the doll, because this doll is going to be personalized and programmed for me or for my niece or daughter, whatever the case may be. And then I would take this doll, I would put it on a platter, and it would be on my altar. And I would dress it in rose petals and damiana and different love herbs, catnip. And I would work this doll, like, I don't know, maybe a few times a week or whenever spirit tells me to work it, by lighting candles, by dropping some attraction oil and speaking incantations over it until I see a change in the self-esteem of my niece or my daughter. You can use voodoo dolls a plethora of ways. You can use them for protection spells as well. You can use them for fertility spells. You can use, how would I do this for, oh, somebody at my door. Sorry, we're not open. My bad. If I were to use this for protection spells, I would cover this doll. I would write the name of the person, whoever it may be, and I would cover this doll in hyssop. Hyssop is an excellent protection spell. There's so much you can do. And if you want to know more about voodoo dolls, poppets, they have different names. You can also subscribe to my Patreon, and I teach y'all different things to do with dolls and boxes and stuff. But you already know I always teach through an ethical lens. I do not teach y'all to do unethical, low vibrational ass fuck shit. I do not, I will not, I will never. Okay? Just know that you use these dolls as a representation of a person, as a target for you. Now, if you want, you would keep working this doll. You would put the doll on your altar. You would keep working the doll. You don't need to tell nobody what you're doing. If you're able to practice at home freely. Like for me, that's just me and my badass cats. I can do whatever I want. But some people who might be practicing in secret, you might have to work your doll and put it away and hide it somewhere. And that's okay too. But my advice to you always is not to say shit. You know what I tell y'all? Don't be running your mouth about shit you're doing. Your business is your business. And a lot of times, even if you're doing the most basic prosperity spell, take this doll example. Put it on a plate with a bed of money rice and money spice. Sprinkle the herbs on the doll. Make sure you write your name of the target who you want to be financially prosperous. Maybe your child just left your house and they own a college dorm somewhere. You want them to be more fiscally and financially responsible so that they don't fuck their credit up. You can use, I have another spell that I did using a 7-knob candle, but you can also use a doll to help program your son to stop spending all his damn money gaming and not studying and shit. You know what I mean? And you just sporadically work this doll on that plate. And I highly recommend it. Side note, y'all know I'm practical and y'all know I'm frugal and y'all know I'm cheap. So I always get you just a regular ass 99-cent store plate. I like to use black or clear. It don't even really matter to cover the color. Cover that plate in foil for easy cleanup. Get you your bed of money rice and money spice. Put that down and then sprinkle the money spice on the doll, like burying it, maybe leaving the head out. If you got a piece of your son's hair or a personal effect, whatever it may be, it might be one of his funky ass socks that he left before he went to college. And you might cut it up and make it into a little shirt for the doll, some sort of personal effect for the you know what I'm saying? And you dress the doll up, lay it in the money rice, baby. And then you write his name on the chest, make sure, and you say your incantation. And here's the thing about incantations. Some people think that other people have to write your incantations for you. No, you can make them yourself. You can sit up and you can meditate. You can write some shit out. You can speak from the heart. Just repeat it 3 to 5 times with your hands over it. Maybe get you some candles, some chime candles, if that's what I would use. To protect his money, I would use green and black. Black for protection, green for money. If you're doing a self-love on yourself or your daughter, I would use pink or red. You know what I mean? Pink is for love. You know, red is for you loving on you in an intense way, or her loving on her, whatever the case may be. If you're doing this because you sick of your damn kids fighting, all they do is fuss, and you want them to calm the hell down so that you don't snatch your edges out, you get you 2 dolls and you sew both their hands together and you lay down a plate, maybe put some foil, like I said, for easy cleanup. And you lay you some rose petals and some damn, rose petals is what I would use, some commanding oil on them rose petals. And you lay both of their asses on this plate. And if you can get a personal effect from these hollering ass kids that's ripping and running and fighting and terrorizing, put that on the doll. Maybe some hair, maybe a sock, maybe a shirt, whatever the case may be. And lay them on the plate and you say your incantation that you want these kids to stop fussing all the damn time. Same thing with your husband. If y'all is fussing, but only do this if he is in the know you doing it. If you got to sneak and hide, then don't do it because it's not consensual. But if you talk to your husband and you like, baby, you know, I'm sorry for telling you that your mama is old, and I'm sorry for calling your auntie big back patty whack. And I'm sorry, you know, I don't want us fussing no more. And he like, well, I'm sorry that I said your cooking tastes like old bus seats, baby. I love you too. Let's work on our marriage. And she say, I got an idea, baby. Let's do a self-love spell for our marriage. And you bust you out 2 dolls and you take you some of his hair if he have any. I don't know if it's a lot of these men's is going bald these days. Maybe it's a shirt. Maybe it's a sock, whatever the case may be, some sort of personal effect, you know, and you put it on his doll and he put it on yours and you sew their hands together. Or super glue. You can use that if you don't know how to use a needle and thread. A lot of the times I've realized when I was little, side note, y'all, I used to make my own doll clothes and I learned how to sew at a very young age. But some of these damn kids do not know how to sew. I don't understand that. But anyway, it's not my place to judge shit. They can tick and talk, but can't use a needle and thread. I digress. You can super glue the hands together and y'all sit together with y'all hands interlocking like this around the plate. And y'all, you know, do some loving on y'all marriage. You know, that's what the dolls are for. They represent a human figure. They are not evil. They are not bad. You can take, okay, side note. Yeah, it can be used that way. Just like a firearm, you can use it to protect yourself or you can use it to shoot up the block. Depends on how you use it. But if I'm teaching you, I'm going to teach you protection. I'm going to teach you the ethical way. Patreon, they know what's up. They're my students and they already know what's up. So this are the voodoo dolls that are available on the AWB Botanica for a very cost-effective price. Get yours today. It's a limited item that I'm going to be using, that I'm going to be making available. Okay, these are excellent for commanding a situation. Let's say you go into court. Let's just talk about court, and let's say Judge Whoop-de-Bam, and you want Judge Whoop-de-Bam to just, you know, rule in your favor because some shit that just ain't right in the court going on, and not some shit you did that you kind of deserve to be put in custody. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about some real shit, you know, that you just need a little boost for things to go your way because you need some help. This is Judge Whoop-de-Bam. And you write Judge Whoop-de-Bam's name on here and you sprinkle you a plate, like I said, with the foil, make it for easy cleanup. Sprinkle you down some abracamino, some rosemary, and if the case has to do with money, anything to do with money, you sprinkle you some money spice and money rice. You don't have to if it's not about money. And then you work the judge along with a honey jar. If you want, you can sprinkle honey on the doll on the plate, and you keep working and burn your chime candles, the candles you would use for that, depending. If it has to do with money, use green. If it's just regular court case, use orange and black. If it's protection, use black. You know what I mean? And you work the doll every now and then whenever you see fit. But this is highly effective if you're working the doll and doing a honey jar at the same time, plus the court case kaboom pow. Add this as a leg of the court case kaboom pow if you're doing it for court. So remember what I said. Dolls are not evil. Dolls are not knee-jerk bad. That does not mean you're an evil person. You're just trying to sway a situation, and this is used to represent a human figure. Let's say you want your kid to do well in school. Get you a student court case prepared candle. Get you a doll. Write your son's name or daughter's name, niece, whatever the case may be's name on the doll. Personal effect. Get you a plate covered in foil. Lay it down and add you some abracamino and lay it on the thing. And then you light the court case candle. Maybe you might want to do the court case candle depending on how the energy of the ether is every so often. But you also can burn, you can also make sure you put a couple of, or even a piece or two of red jasper on the plate to help stimulate your kid to do well in school. I am the African Witch Bitch. I could be talking about how to use poppets forever, literally forever. I can go give you scenario after scenario after scenario. It don't even matter. It's endless. You don't only use these for, just doing evil and just doing bad and getting you some pins and sticking it. No, come on. Like, let's stop letting Hollywood tell us about our practice, okay? You can use them for anything. You literally can. And a rum. Patreon. You already know. You already know. I don't even have to say nothing else because Patreon already know. So I am the African Witch Bitch Hoodoo practitioner. If you are in the market to purchase low-cost hoodoo supplies, please hit up my website. It is in the description box below. If you guys have a Am I the Asshole story, email. It's in the description box below. I am the African Witch Bitch Hoodoo practitioner, and thank you guys for being here and allowing me with my weird ass to teach you foundational hoodoo. I love being a teacher. I do. And I love the people that I have helped. I love the people who feel enlightened and inspired by following me over the years. I truly do appreciate it. I see your emails thanking me. I thank you for the phone calls that you guys have given me, telling me updates about spell advice I've given, even the consultations. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. And remember, in everything you do, always be ethical. And remember that this is our birthright. Never, ever pay a lot of money to learn your birthright. Don't do that. Anybody trying to charge you to do spell work and it's up the ass prices, don't do that. Do your own spell work. Learn for free by following me. I am the African Witch Bitch Hoodoo practitioner. Ashe.